welcome back to another episode of the Likt podcast. Today is a very special day. Do you know why it's a special day, Lewis?
Is it because it's May the 4th?
It's actually May the 5th, but you do bring up a good point. Star Wars is a thing. But
it's May the 5th. I have to fix my watch. We're there.
So it's a very special day because...
Hold on. There we go.
Okay.
Continue.
It's a very special day because all week I've been doing stuff like, you know, drawing commissions and blah 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 and doing all this shit. However, I've also been doing theme songs for us. And you know what, who's to say if they're going to be good or not? But
or even in this podcast,
or even in this episode. But as far as I know, they should be in, and you should have. The people should have heard a beautiful.
I
symphony
haven't even heard it yet. So and I know you're not exactly great with a ukulele. Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's actually pretty. I do enjoy the intro a lot, and the letters one is pretty good, and I haven't recorded the recommendations one yet, but you know what, it'll turn out well. I'm betting. But anyway, so we also went to the comic store today because I was like, yo, it's free comic day, even though it isn't. That's tomorrow, and we're not going tomorrow because I don't care.
Yeah, we got up at like 8 in the today. It's like, yeah, let's go into town, get there, and it's like, oh, would you look at that? Now, I did get some stuff that I very much wanted, but Tom's like, I'll buy this bad €1 comic just so I can get a free comic with it,
which
and didn't get a free comic.
Hey, I did get this other one though that I enjoyed.
Oh, did you read that?
No,
whatever that
but I enjoyed the way it looks, and I enjoyed the fact that I got it. So you know what, I will read it.
That's good. I was happy that I got those 3 manga today. Those mangai. Mangas.
Are you a fun guy?
I don't know.
To start off with the news. Hey, we're going to do an ASMR from now on.
Don't do that.
I know, it's very loud. So, Chris Pratt gave his input on Suicide Squad. He said that he loves most of the DC movies, and if he's talking about Man of Steel and Superman vs. Batman, he's a fucking idiot. But anyway, he says he enjoys the DC movie so far.
I liked both of those movies, but I know they aren't good. Well, Man of Steel, I think.
I don't think it's bad, but still, he's like, yo, I think those are fine, and that's fine. But then he's like, Suicide Squad, I think, introduced too many characters at once, and he has a point because Guardians of the Galaxy didn't introduce like a shit ton of characters. And I mean, with Suicide Squad, they could have made it just a little bit like, oh, you know, well, I don't know. They could have only introduced characters they needed. Like, I don't know.
They didn't introduce a lot of main characters in Guardians.
I mean, Guardians was very much Space Avengers with basically, you know, Drax being Thor. You've got Groot being the Hulk. He only says one word. He's a giant, you know, monster. You got Chris Pratt being the smartass, Gamora being a ruthless killer, and like, you know, Rocket being, I don't know who he would be actually.
For some reason, I think he's a different version of Tony.
Yeah, he's a different. They're both Tony Stark. Either way, yeah, it's kind of Space Avengers in a way. But you could say Chris Pratt's, Captain America because he's out of time.
That,
you know.
But I disagree.
But anyway, he's like, yo, Suicide Squad introduced too many characters, and maybe they should have built it over time. And then you reference how Avengers slowly built it. And I do think Suicide Squad needed that because while Harley Quinn and Joker are very popular characters, especially the Joker, like, no one else probably knew who Killer Croc was. No one knew who Deadshot was, probably. You know, like, no mainstream people at least.
Killer Croc was the only other one that I knew existed.
Yeah, El Diablo,
probably from the Lego games, I think I knew about him.
Killer Croc's pretty good. Well, he's a real weirdo, but anyway, yeah. And everyone's been, you know, breaking out in fights, being like, yeah, Chris Pratt just fucking wrecked DC. And then what Henry Cavill did, not in retaliation, but just because it was Superhero Day at the time, he took a picture of him with a jacket on, and he had the Superman suit on underneath, and he tagged 41 different people. So he tagged Chris Pratt, Robert Downey Jr., Ben Affleck, and basically all the Marvel actors who play the superheroes and all the DC actors who play the superheroes. And he tagged every single one that he possibly could. And the ones that weren't on Twitter or on Instagram, he hashtagged their names, so like Chris Evans and
this is
Paul
on
Rudd
Instagram.
Yeah, it was on Instagram.
Okay, because I was about to say, how did he tag that many people on Twitter when they've got a Twitter limit?
Yeah, but he did that, and the reason I bring it up is because people like if he doesn't care about the fact that the other actors are in Marvel and he's willing to include everyone and he doesn't really give a shit, then why should the fans? Why don't you just enjoy what movies are good? Like instead of having this dick measuring contest, like Marvel's movies are better.
It's like the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 thing that everyone went on about.
And it kind of went on with Xbox and PlayStation 4, except for more people were like, yeah, PlayStation 4. But like it's retarded. Just enjoy what you like and whatever. I don't know. But DC's better. Anyway, so
Well,
DJ Khaled. I'm talking about comics. Anyway, DJ Khaled might make a cameo with Stan Lee in Spider-Man Homecoming because there was a picture with Tom Holland, Stan Lee, and DJ Khaled all just arm in arm.
I didn't know DJ Khaled isn't a main character.
He might. Well, he's next to Stan Lee, and Stan Lee isn't the main character that we know.
He's a main character, dude.
In my heart.
He's in every movie. How much more main character can he be?
Yeah, but yeah. So are you excited to see DJ Khaled in?
Well, I don't listen to rap, and I probably haven't heard any of his songs.
DJ Khaled. He's a little bit of a weird. He's very weird.
That's good.
He's like, yeah. Anyway, regardless, he's a meme machine. He's very soaked up for memes and all that, and he's quite fat. But anyway.
Oh wait, I might have seen him in a YouTube video where they were eating hot wings. Maybe I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, but he's all right, I guess.
Yeah.
But so Rogue is going to be recast most likely in the new X-Men Dark Phoenix movie because they were sending.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they were sending
she
out.
can't be an old person.
Well, the funny thing is the actress is not that old.
I know, but compared to what she wasn't like, technically she shouldn't be born yet. Actually.
True.
If we were going off the older movies, yeah.
But whatever's in Dark Phoenix, for all we know, this could be set really far in the future.
Oh god, I doubt it because they've got Sophie Turner still playing Phoenix. And by Phoenix,
maybe they'll age her up,
What was?
Either way, they're going to recast Rogue, and yeah.
Do you know who they're recasting as?
No, there was a lot of video. Yeah. There were a lot of videos going around where people basically sent in their auditions online. I don't know what that's about, but either way,
no one's going to get a part by sending their audition. Unless they're
I think they asked for that. I'm not sure, but either way,
I should have gone for the part.
There were a lot of them. Anyway, well, you can't be a woman. You're not a woman.
Hey, don't assume my gender.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you don't look like the character with your silver streaks.
I can dye my hair silver in streaks.
Also, so the guy who's playing Aquaman, I can't remember his name.
Jason Momoa.
There you go. He's playing Aquaman, and he's like, it's really fun to play Aquaman because there's been no other Aquaman ever, so I have nothing to live up to, and I get to set the tone of what happens with this character.
He's just a great person.
Yeah, he seems so.
He was in Game of Thrones, melted that guy's head. It was just great.
I think he's going to be in a remake of The Crow movie, and The Crow isn't bad. It's pretty good.
I don't know what The Crow is.
Well, it's about an emo boy who is basically immortal because the crow comes to him and he's like, "You're the crow," and then if you die as the crow, which you can if you like commit suicide, I think. The crow goes to another person. He's like, "You're the crow now," because that guy killed himself. And basically,
that guy hated life.
Either way, he's going to be in that. But he says that it's just so it is cool that he's excited.
This is an actual movie. How old is it?
The Crow. It's like very old, like 1990 probably. I'd say. I'm not really sure, but regardless of The Crow, which I am a little bit excited for. It's cool to see that he's actually excited for the Aquaman movie. It's fun to see that someone's excited for a DC movie because like the director says that he's really hyped for it. And the actors
I'm excited for Aquaman because I'm
quite excited.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Aqualad is one of my favorite characters, and he was taught by Aquaman.
They had a lot of we have a lot of Injustice stuff today. Injustice 2, the video game.
Oh yeah, it's not like I haven't talked about that before.
So they're adding Red Hood, Starfire, and Sub-Zero as DLC characters to purchase. Yeah.
I do like because in the last game they had. I was telling you how they had Scorpion. They're like, hey, let's bring Sub-Zero in. That's cool. And also, I like Starfire. I wonder if they're more likely gonna have an adult version of her and not Teen Titans version.
Also, they're going. If you see the Joker in Injustice 2, he's got emo hair.
Like black hair or hair going over his
No,
eyes?
it's like over his face. He's got the emo haircut style. It's weird. So, are you excited about that?
Yeah. See, the thing
You
is,
don't
the game isn't.
understand.
You don't understand me. It's a joke, okay?
It's a joke.
JK.
JK.
Uh,
It's ironic.
yeah. But I do see the problem is with Injustice is that it's not gonna be on PC, which is what I game on. I have an Xbox One, but I haven't used it in probably a year, and even then, I don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, Injustice 2 is gonna be something, alright. I mean,
Oh,
I
wait,
do like the
Joker's
character
been
line.
confirmed. Then you didn't say that. He's been confirmed.
Well, obviously he's been confirmed. You know, if he's got the emo
He
hair.
wasn't confirmed the other. Oh my god, he does have emo hair. Oh, he looks weird. I've searched him up. And obviously they've confirmed Darkseid.
Okay.
They have gameplay of Darkseid, and he's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I do like the cast they have, or like the cast of characters that they're gonna be able to give you to play as, and that's pretty cool. Hopefully they'll change the moves up for people like Superman and the Joker, because then it'll just be the same stuff as the last game, just with a redesign. I mean, like if you see the cover, he's wearing a lot of like it's very yellowy and gold and glowing, and that's it might be because he has a yellow lantern ring, so that if he has moves as Superman, but also as a Yellow Lantern, that could be like fucking amazing. So
as we pointed out, because I was going to bring that up if you forgot, but
yeah.
So we were in GameStop the other day, and we were looking at it, and he was like, maybe the reason he's gold is because he might have a Yellow Lantern ring. And I was just thinking as I was thinking this, like, he's definitely read this somewhere. So I started looking at the box, and if you look closely at the box, you can see on his hand a yellow outline of what looks like the Yellow Lantern ring. And I was like, so the second I saw that, I was like, so where'd you read that? Because it's there, and it was in Injustice.
This is in the comic, yeah, the Injustice comic. So yeah, but
they also, just before you go on, they have still another 9 characters to announce for.
Which
Injustice
I don't think they
2.
should announce all of them. They should at least leave 5, maybe just
secret. They could leave a few secret ones, yeah.
Yeah. However,
I'm very much hoping for some Young Justice characters to be in this DLC.
Okay, but with Injustice, although you'd have to explain why they're not in the previous movie, but they're in this now, or in game. I mean, because like the reason you could explain like people like Darkseid and like any other like Mongol or whatever or Swamp Thing is because maybe they because a lot of them are space characters, and with Swamp Thing he's also kind of an alien a lot of the time, so you can explain.
He's an alien. I thought
he's an alien who defends Earth. I don't know. It's weird.
I thought he was a Swamp Thing.
Exactly. But anyway, or maybe he's not. I don't know. Anyway, so Matt Reeves, who's the new director of Batman, says he loves Batman. Despite everything, he is a normal superhero. He doesn't have any powers, and that makes him really interesting. And then he said something that actually has worth and value, which he said that he's a tortured soul trying to find meaning in this life now that his parents are dead. And he's all like, I'm sad about that, and I'm trying to save criminals from having the same fate as me, which is being super depressed and dressing like a bat. Which, a lot of the criminals he fights literally only exist because of him. So, hey, what are you going to do? So yeah, but at least see someone else is excited about a DC movie, so that's good. Or at least he's excited about Batman. We saw the Defenders trailer, which was
we as in you, because I haven't seen it.
Oh, have you not? Well, I'll tell you right now. What happens is, they're all like, I don't know. Iron Fist gets on like takes Claire Temple, the night nurse person, and is like, "Yo, we're going this way," and then Luke Cage is like, "What are you doing with my woman?" And then and then Iron Fist tries to beat him up, doesn't even do anything, and then Luke Cage flips him in like with one move, and then he's like, "How come I can't hurt you?" And then he hits him with the Iron Fist, and you see Luke Cage like be like, "Ew, that hurt."
You fucking bitch! What the fuck?
And then they just have a little bit of fights, and you just see like Luke Cage like thump people. You see Jessica Jones like throw them across a room. You see Iron Fist do some kung fu, and then you see
so then
Daredevil jump off a wall and hit someone in the face.
So they're clearly doing the whole Avengers first fight thing where Thor's like, "Hey, I'm gonna hit Captain America here." Hits his hammer. He's like, "Oh, would you look at that? Didn't do anything." And then they apologise and move on. Yeah. I thought, and this was something I was gonna watch it and then hopefully be surprised, which it doesn't sound like was. I thought it was going to be some really badly done trailer where it just takes bits from the different shows that are already done, and it's like, and now they're coming together, and they're all just standing there like, yo, we're the defenders, and that's pretty cool.
I didn't love the trailer. It was fine. Daredevil's wearing a little bit more of his season 1, very beginning season 1 kind of outfit, where he's wearing the mask kind of thing, like the headband weird thingy.
So he got rid of his whole horned mask. Well, I guess was shot.
Well, I mean, like, then again, though, he might be caught off guard and he has no other option than to just put something over his head so no one knows what his identity is.
It's like, I'm a blind man. I don't plan for these things. Oh shit, I have to fight. God damn it! Just put my hood up. They won't notice I'm blind.
And unlike all of them, he's not superhuman. I mean, you could argue he's superhuman, but in this version, he isn't really superhuman because there's no like chemical waste that touches his eyes or anything. But yeah, and then you have like Iron Fist be like, we're the perfect team, and Jessica's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
How does he go blind in this series again?
I can't remember. He just goes blind. I cannot remember, but ignoring that, Iron Fist is like, we're the best team. Got me, the best martial artist in the world, even though I'm clearly not as good as any of you in any. I could probably lose to all you in a fight. And then he's like, bulletproof man, blind guy who's a blind ninja, and then whatever the fuck you are, Jessica. And she's like, how dare you? But anyway, yeah.
Jessica's probably my favorite character out of all of them, followed closely by Deadpool, and then probably between Luke Cage and Iron Fist, I probably like Iron Fist more.
I like you said Deadpool, but you mean Daredevil.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. But so like, because I saw him in Game of Thrones, and I was like, oh hey look, I know that, like woo. And so I probably like him more. And also I probably just preferred his, because I really didn't like the story for Luke Cage with the whole, hey look, I'm a mob boss, oh look, I'm dead, now my cousin's a mob boss. Would you look at that? Oh look, now she's getting in a fight with another mob boss. Alright,
but yeah. Yeah, so that'll happen, and whatever, you know. So in the new episode of The Flash, we learned that.
Have you seen this episode?
I've seen the big reveal from it. So, basically, if you watch The Flash and you don't want to watch it, time codes and all that.
So yes, spoilers.
Spoilers for the newest episode of The Flash. And also, no, don't worry about it. Anyway, so The Flash
do worry about it.
Learns about Savitar. And what a Savitar's identity is, and when I was watching it, he's like, the reason you know every move we've ever done, the reason you know all about us, is because you are us. And then he gets out of his big mechanized suit, and you learn that it's the Flash in the future.
As you were saying that, I was going to be like, is it a future Flash?
So it's Godspeed, yeah. So so in the comics, you see that Barry Allen becomes Godspeed, and in order to save the world, he has to kill people, and he really doesn't want to do it, but he has to do it to save the world. And then past Flash is trying to stop him, but he's no match. And in it's probably not the same thing. It's just that this Flash is super evil and bitchy, or just from another Earth where he's evil and bitchy.
Oh, I'm happy right now.
Yeah. Oh. He's kind of got that long hair that guy had, who's, you know, Bruce Wayne clone. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Hush in Gotham series. But yeah, so that's that. So, you know, it's cool that they are bringing in Savitar Godspeed. Obviously, they couldn't call it Godspeed, otherwise it wouldn't have been a good reveal. But a lot of people saw it coming.
And would you recommend that show to watch? Just because I haven't watched it.
To recommend The Flash, I would say yes, watch it. And for someone, because I'm very picky with stuff, and I just get fed up with shows very quickly when they're not meeting the best of my expectations, and when they go for too long. Like for me, like Legion, if it had gone for another 2 episodes, I probably would have gotten upset. But the fact that it's only 8 episodes and it fits perfectly for me is amazing.
I would have been upset if it went for half a minute longer.
And stuff like where Steven is just taking too long to put out episodes, it kind of gets me just angry.
It takes too long to do anything. I pointed that out to you because you're like, it's the best show ever. I was like, okay, but look, this is what they're doing.
It doesn't take like an immensely long amount of time. It just takes, for me, because I would rather they just take a long ass time and then just put out the show weekly, and then finish the full season rather than, but then do like a huge 20 episodes and then just stop producing for like a year, which pisses me off. But anyway, but like with so the Flash just have like a lot of episodes, like up to 20 episodes per season. And for me, at season 3, I just kind of got like, didn't really love it. But yeah, it's probably a good show, and you would probably like it. So yeah, watch it.
I like more shows than you do, because I'm like, hey, you know what? That's a fun thing going on there.
So, Moving on. Wonder Woman.
All the world is waiting for you and the wonders that you do. In your satin tights, fighting for our rights, and the all red, white, and blue.
Wonder Woman. She got so critics were all like, "Yo, you know what this movie is like? Captain America," and they didn't say whether it's like Captain America: The First Avenger or Captain America: Winter Soldier. Hopefully, the second one. But if it's like the first Captain America, I guess it won't be that bad.
Yeah, it won't be bad. It just won't be great. So it's going. They should have just called it Wonder Woman: The First Leaguer.
The First Leaguer, yeah. But it is interesting though that they're getting that comparison. Obviously, they're going to have her in olden times probably, and then her in modern times, and then obviously she has got the big shield and stuff, and so it's.
I don't think it's going to go to her in the modern time. Maybe at the very end of the movie, it's going to skip
so
forward
that way
like
it will
50
be
years.
very much Captain America. So yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's a good way to do it, because you introduce Iron Man in the modern day, and then you're like, well, why aren't there any other superheroes? And then you choose Captain America. He was a back in the day one, and now he's modern. So if they're doing it that way with this, it's pretty good,
Yeah.
Although she was kind of in Batman vs Superman, but still, it's at least.
Well, more than
something.
kind of. She's there like, hey, it's okay, Batman, you sit this one out, I've got this.
I've got this, even though I don't got this. And anyway,
Yeah, she didn't have this. Well, she added more than Superman
she
or
dropped
Batman.
the fucking ball, ultimately. But yeah. So
She can wait there. She can fly in the comics and TV shows.
only when she has her sword and shield, and she's holding them at the same time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yeah.
And so
In this,
did she
might-
not have her shield?
In this, she might be able to fly because we don't really
No,
see
I
her.
mean in Batman vs Superman.
She did, but we don't. Like she doesn't fly up in the air, but maybe she does like jump into like the guy a lot. So maybe that's flying. We don't really know. But then again, if you've got like I don't know, 3 or 4 people who can fly, at what point are you like, well, hey, we can't really take these guys down, can we? Because they can all fly. So,
If she can fly like she's supposed to, which she might not to be able to, at which point I'm fine.
yeah.
But why is she taking planes?
No, I
Is she
don't know.
rich? Does she have enough money to
Does
be
she
like,
have that
"Hey,
invisible
here you
plane?
go."
I would love the invisible plane. Oh,
Hmm.
would you want the invisible plane?
And I imagine they will also they might reference that as a joke, be like, "Yeah, there's my invisible plane," and they're like, "Really?" She's like,
It's like,
no one
what
has
are
an
you
invisible
doing?
plane. Yeah, they'll probably also reference the Wonder Woman theme song some way.
Yes. One more time. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman.
Anyway, but yeah. So, do you know who Josh Gad is?
I do.
He played Olaf. He was in the movie Pixels.
I know that.
He was in
that's
Beauty
why I
and the
said
Beast. And he was
I
in
know.
Ice Age.
I was telling you this.
Well, he was gonna be. He tweeted out. I think it was a tweet. Just a picture of the Penguin from the comics. So he might be playing the Penguin in
He
Batman.
is kind of chubby.
Do you think he can be like a very serious, serious role kind of? Because the Joker can be, or what am I talking about? The Penguin can be very silly and like played for jokes, like, oh, he's not really a real threat, and that could be something like in the beginning of Batman. Maybe he just takes out the Penguin. I mean, he just takes him out real quick. But do you think he's kind of like threatening or menacing or anything like that in any way?
He doesn't seem like it in the movies, but I imagine just from the look of him that he could become very serious very quickly, and be like, well, I'm unhappy now, and you know what, Olaf is always happy. God damn it! And then he's gonna go around on a mass murdering spree with his bazooka wielding penguins.
Would you want to see
Yes.
that in the movie? I really want to see that.
I do.
Even
Even if they can't pull it off, so he's like just has one little scene where it's him trying to teach them and it just doesn't work, it would make me happy.
Yeah, it would make me very happy. I mean, even if they don't if they did that in a Lego movie, I'd be happy. I'm pretty sure it's in a Lego movie, but still. Anyway, so I really want that now. I fucking want it so much.
Yeah.
Okay, but so Transformers got a new a poster, and basically it's Optimus Prime being all like he's like above Bumblebee, and he's got a sword out, and it kind of looks like he's about to chop his head off.
Have you seen the latest trailer for that? Because I have to kill you to make people happy. And Bumblebee's like, oh shit. And then I think Bumblebee might actually beat the shit out of Optimus and also gets chippy. It's very Transformers-y. It makes you want to be excited, but then you remember what they did the last time, and you're like,
Yeah.
They are bringing back the Dinobots for this movie too.
Yeah. So, Marvel is doing Captain Marvel, the female, and Kevin Feige was talking about the directors and how they cast them, and they're saying that what they want to do for this is that, and what they usually do is that they get a director who can carry, the character's journey through, through all their adventures and all that stuff that they usually do, and now the Ike Perlmutter's gone, thank God. Basically,
Why? What did he do?
he was the one who made Age of Ultron be as shit as it is.
Oh.
And also just like a lot of he was the reason Thor: The Dark World 2 was bad. Thor: The Dark World was bad. He was the reason for sinking a lot of bad good things that could have happened in Marvel. I'm pretty sure he's the reason why Edgar Wright had to leave for Ant-Man. Maybe, I think, possibly. But,
I very much hope. Also, just going back to this Captain Marvel thing.
Yeah.
I hope DC make a movie also called Captain Marvel with Shazam in it.
Yeah. I mean, they're calling it Shazam, but still, that'd be pretty good.
Because do they own that name? Do they own Captain Marvel?
They can use Captain, DC can use Captain Marvel.
Because they had the name first, didn't they? After suing it for it.
Yeah, after taking it. I mean, obviously they're not going to. I think that nowadays it's much harder to sue for a name, but yeah, they can definitely you could name them both Captain Marvel, but then at that point you're confusing people, and I think Shazam's a much better name for a movie than Captain Marvel, especially when it's a DC film,
I question though if there's going to be the whole joke the Captain Deadpool thing. It's going to be I should be called Captain no Shazam.
Yeah, no Shazam. But I mean, hey, whatever works. If it's a funny, well-made joke, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, or maybe they're like, wow, you are marvelous.
Yeah. Do we know who's playing Captain?
I don't think
Shazam.
We do. I don't think we do yet. No.
Because we know Black Adam before, so we know his villain before we know him.
I mean, there probably is. It's probably out there, but I just don't know myself. If you want to Google it right now, do it. But be quiet about it. But
I'm not you. I can type quietly.
I'll move on for now.
Yeah.
So you've seen the Inhumans poster with the really bad costumes, and Black Bolt doesn't have his tuning fork in his head.
That does annoy me, because I think that looks pretty cool,
It does.
And now he's just not wearing a mask at all, and that doesn't make sense. He needs a mask.
Yeah.
And a tuning fork mask. Just when he shouts, it goes through his tuning fork, and he's like, bang, get wrecked.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I also don't think they're going to do it to the full extent. They're not going to have it so that his power, when he whispers, it can destroy a galaxy. It's when he whispers, he could probably disrupt a small dog. Or it's not going to be to the same extent. It's probably going to be more Black Canary-esque, where maybe it'll make someone's ears bleed, maybe. But I don't know.
Okay, so just before we continue, I've searched up Shazam movie cast, and it's hey, Shazam, the cast, yeah, that's Black Adam. There you go. Woo, that's all you get.
The Rock, yeah.
It's coming out next year though, and by next year I mean in 2019.
So not next year.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. But as far as I know, that's all the news we have. Inhuman has bad costumes. Captain Marvel is happening, and hopefully that'll be good. And Josh Gad will have, penguins with bazookas.
I like Josh Gad so much. Yeah. He's a good actor. He's going to be pretty big.
Although he's more of a voice actor, really. I mean, he was in Pixels, and that was a very bad movie. So. But he's more of a voice actor
Although he is good in that movie, and he just goes off on some guy, and then he quiets up, and I think he's like I shit myself, something like that. But so he is a good actor. I like him a lot. I didn't know he was in Ice Age. Who is he?
I don't know. I think probably Sid. No, it's Ice Age 2. So think of a character that doesn't come back in Ice Age 3, and that's probably him. He might be one of the sharks. Those weird
sharks don't
people.
Talk.
Oh, did they not? Well, regardless.
Well, in the end, the sharks do die. It's a kids' movie. You wouldn't want them to be like, no, and just screaming as they're murdered.
I had personal attachment to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna search up right now to see if there's any more comic book movie news. But as far as I know, nothing has come up in the last 20 seconds since we started recording. So,
yeah.
Yeah, there is absolutely none that I can see right now. Just nothing, no news except for that Guardians of the Galaxy has made a shit ton of money, which hey,
Has it? How well is it doing?
like I don't know, apparently 200 million or maybe like 100 million in its opening weekend, I think. So
also, Josh Gad is not in Ice Age 2. You're high. He must be in Ice Age 4.
Okay, what is he in Ice Age 4 then?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I'm guessing.
Wait, shit! I clicked on Wonder Woman. I'm going to click on Guardians of the Galaxy to see how much money they're making. God, fucking damn it! I clicked on Wonder Woman again.
Yes, he's in Ice Age 4. Plays. Oh my god. He plays someone named Lewis. Okay, so did you find out how much money they made?
No, but let's just say at least 200 million.
Okay, why not?
No, it is at least 200 million. So now we're going to move into the topic, which I think is comics we'd like to see turn into live action movies, or possibly TV shows. I do have one exception here if we don't have enough of them, but for now let's just do.
I also have
movies.
some animated movies that I want to turn into live action.
Well, you know what? Those aren't allowed. Too
bad I'm using them.
Okay, well you can start off if you'd like.
No, you've got more. You start off.
Okay. So we'll start off with the Red Hood. Now, they were saying this is going to be a thing, but then they were saying that this is not going to be the first Batman solo movie, and I will persuade any DC executives that are watching this, which they aren't, but hey, maybe. So the reason you should make Red Hood the movie is because it's all like, first of all, you set it up. There's a dead Robin. We see his costume, and we see Joker has written "ha ha ha" all over it. So you've basically set it up. I don't know why you've decided not to do it, but anyway.
Wait there, I was daydreaming. They're not doing that anymore?
No, they are, or maybe they're not, because they've said multiple times, like, yes, we are doing it, but then
they could just be lying.
No, we're not doing it. Yeah, maybe they're trying to get us off the scent. But either way, if you guys don't know what it is, basically Red Hood is... So, spoiler alert, Batman has had, like, a multitude of Robins over time. I swear to fucking God, if this guy keeps calling me on Skype, I'm gonna snap his fucking neck. Anyway, so... Batman has had a multitude of Robins, and essentially, so he's had Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, Damian Wayne, and one from the future and stuff like that. So
wait, he has one from the future?
In the future, in Dark Knight, Returns, when he's an old man, he literally hires a kid who may be a man or a woman,
yes,
a girl or a guy.
He's in a black kind of.
Just gives her a tank.
Very lean suit, isn't? Oh, okay.
Just gives her a tank, basically.
I do remember the tank talk.
But regardless, he's had a multitude of Robins. So the first Robin goes off and becomes his own superhero. Jason Todd is kind of a reckless one, and he goes after the Joker on his own. So the Joker kidnaps him and basically beats him to death with a crowbar. While I think his mom is there also, in the comics, he then blows up the warehouse he's keeping the two of them in, and Batman goes in to see his mother burn to Jason Todd's mother to burn to a crisp, and then Jason Todd just kind of there. His body's not hugely, tacked. He's intact basically. He's bleeding though a lot from the crowbar.
It's like I'm okay. The explosion and crowbar didn't hurt. Don't worry.
No, he's bleeding like a lot and like covered in blood. But anyway. So that's
a pretty vicious way to kill someone, even for the Joker.
Yeah, well, he's done worse, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But so basically, he beats him to the crowbar, and then Batman mourns over the loss of that, and he's just super upset about it for a long ass time. And then this new kind of vigilante hero comes in, and he's all like, "Look at me, I wear a red helmet, and I shoot people in the mouth." And basically, he goes around and he just kind of he threatens a lot of gangs by cutting off their leaders' heads and saying like, "Yeah, you talk to me now from now on." And you slowly find out that, OMG, it's Jason Todd back from the dead because the Lazarus pit brought him back to life and stuff.
How did he get to a Lazarus pit?
Ra's al Ghul was like, I feel bad for the whole fact that your child died, and it may also be my fault. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring him back to life, but he comes back crazy and just super insane, as everyone who comes out of the Lazarus pit does.
Surprising, because I didn't think Ra's al Ghul would be not a dick.
Yeah, he's not a dick in that particular one, although I think it's his fault that happens, so he brings him back, but then he comes back insane, like as everyone who comes out of Lazarus pit does, except for Ra's, because he's been doing it so long. But yeah, everyone comes back insane, and he does.
He was already insane, then he got bored of it.
The Joker goes into the Lazarus pit, and he comes back out, and he's sane, and he's like, oh my god, I've done so many bad things. But it doesn't last very long, because he goes back to being insane.
Jumps back in, he goes insane again, he's like, yeah. I
But,
love doing killing people for no reason with a crowbar. Woo!
but yeah, so yeah, that and basically the whole story is just the slow unfolding of that, and then and just Jason Todd's trying to like, and he's a very good match for Batman because he knows all his tricks and moves, and I think he's even a very good match for Nightwing as well, and that's pretty good. So I really enjoy that, and I want more. Although the bit you should probably cut out from the comics is he comes back with the combination of the Lazarus Pit, and also Superboy Prime punches reality and he comes back to life. So you know what? Maybe cut the Superboy Prime bit out.
Superboy Prime.
It's a long story. Just Superboy Prime punches reality and he comes back to
Okay.
it. Just maybe cut that bit out and just leave the Lazarus Pit in. So yeah. But it's a very good comic and I very much enjoy just the whole thing. They've set it up, so if you have any doubts about doing it, don't. Just do it. Do it. Yeah. So maybe you should go.
Don't do it. Do it.
Don't not do it. Anyway, go. You do yours.
Okay, so I'm gonna do like one of the more obvious ones straight off, and that's an Injustice live action movie where the Superman's like, "Hey, look at me, I'm evil, woo!" And then they have the Joker, and he's like, "Hey, look at me, I'm dead now, woo!" And then Batman's like, "Woo! Let's go fight Superman," and everyone says "woo" until Superman starts killing everyone, and then they're like, "Oh, we brought this too far."
Boo woo.
I'm not going to go too much into it because most people know the Injustice story, and for anyone who doesn't, Lois Lane is killed. Lois Lane, who's pregnant with Superman's son, is killed by Joker, who destroys all of Metropolis with a bomb to be like, "Ah, look at me, I'm so funny," and Superman's like, "Oh, I'm unhappy. I'm going to shove my fist through your chest," and he's like, "Ha, I get the last laugh because this is going to show that Superman is very corruptible, so easy to corrupt," and he was right.
He was so right.
Then, yeah, he was so right. Yes, then Batman's like, "Oh, so now I have to fight Batman and Superman, and that's just gonna be a whole thing that's gonna last
It's gonna be a whole thing.
at least 5 issues, you know.
Yeah.
5, not 5. 5 those
years.
big ones.
And each year has like
years.
30 different issues. But yeah, I mean they did it very good in the game where they just kind of showed the before and the after. Now maybe you should cut out the reality warping where all of them come in from another dimension, and maybe you should just take the comic where it's like it's just a simple thing, it happens, and you kind of explain everyone's deterioration like very quickly, because it does take a long time for like Hal Jordan to become a Yellow Lantern and Superman to become very, very evil, and Wonder Woman.
You don't want to spoil too much of this, because
yeah, well, if they played the game, they know. But yeah,
first of all, I haven't read the series yet, and I'm going to be starting that shortly.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm sure at least one other person has not watched or knows anything. So
I will say one thing though: make sure you have, like, if this happens, they need to have that chess scene between Flash and Superman. It's fucking great. It's playing super speed chess. It's really good.
Oh, I thought you said chest scene. I was like, what does Superman show his chest? And yes, but that chess scene sounds amazing. Don't spoil that, because you spoiled it for me and I'm unhappy about it.
It's great.
Okay, so now moving on to your next one.
So everyone wants the Killing Joke made, and if you don't know what the Killing Joke is, just watch the animated movie isn't great, but if you want to know the basic plot, watch that. Ignore the Batgirl stuff. But the comic is great, and everyone probably knows what it is. So I'm gonna bypass that, and I'm gonna go straight to Death of the Family, which is Red Hood is also like part of Death in the Family, which is when Jason Todd dies, one person dies. Death of the Family is, you would think everyone would die in it, and I don't want to spoil too much of it because it is a very good comic, and it's probably my favorite Batman comic, despite the fact that some people don't love it, but it's essentially so the Joker cuts off his face. Well, he has someone surgically cut off his face. Then the Gotham police are like, okay, we have to keep it in this room and make sure he doesn't. I don't know. They're just keeping it in a room for evidence, I guess.
They're like, hey, we don't want him to get his face back. That'd be a no.
So he breaks
his face.
So he breaks in, he kills everyone, he gets his face, he ties it back on with a belt, and essentially he does a lot of fucked up shit where he does all his original crimes that him and Batman first did together in reverse. So instead of poisoning the lake that he did in the very beginning, like one of the very first, him and Batman kind of things, he just kills all the people and buries them in the lake, like just straight up. Instead of killing the mayor like he did one time, he kills everyone else in the room that's with the mayor, and they all die and stuff like. So he just reverses a lot of the original crimes that happen, and then he lures Batman, and then basically, he lures Batman in, and he just kind of Harley's afraid of him at this point because she threatens to cut. He threatens to cut her face off so that he'll look like her, and then she's crying, and then he's like, and then she's like, "Will it hurt?" And he's like, "Oh, it'll burn burn a lot, and your eyeballs will, burn because you won't be able to blink or anything. But don't worry, the blood seeping from your eyes will, or seeping from your skin will just, coax your eyes a little bit. So that'll be pretty good." That's really dark. And then it gets to a very good scene, and I'm not gonna spoil too much, but he has all the Bat family strapped to chairs, and he opens up and they all have bandages around their face except for Batman. He opens up a tray, and it has all their faces on it, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's really good. You need to read it, or hopefully they'll adapt into a movie. It would be very dark, and it would definitely have to be R-rated, but it could be
or shit.
It could be terrific or shit, but it could. Oh, it'd just be a great R-rated.
No, R-rated. If it's not R-rated, it's shit.
Yeah, basically.
They're like, so we were gonna remove their face, but we thought, who needs that in our movie?
I mean, you could definitely adapt the plot of him reversing all of his original crimes on Batman, but it just works very well the way it happens,
Yeah, I do know, even though I haven't read it. Because you've told me like everything that happens in that series.
I love it so much. But anyway, you go now.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick Son of Batman next, which is a movie, an animated movie based around Damian Wayne, who is Talia al Ghul's and Bruce Wayne's child, because Talia al Ghul spiked Bruce Wayne's drink and then raped him.
Yes.
That does actually happen. If you
in the comics.
Search up the movie if you want to watch it. It's an animated movie. It's only about an hour and 15 minutes, and it's good.
Or read all the Robin comics with the Robin War and all that shit, or just watch the movie.
Yeah, or just do what I said, Thomas. Yeah. Okay, so then after that, so what happens is, Talia gives birth to Damian Wayne, who's like, yo, I'm annoyed at everything, so I'll scowl all the time, and I have a sword to kill people with if they ignore me. Yeah. So it starts off with him like just walking around, and then out of nowhere, Deathstroke attacks like Ra's al Ghul's or Ra's al Ghul's house, and he's like, or building, whatever it is. And he's like, so I'm gonna light Ra's al Ghul on fire. So he, after fighting with him for a while and not getting very far with it, he lights him on fire, and he's like, that's what you get. And so, spoiler alert, Ra's al Ghul dies, doesn't get to the Lazarus pit on time, and so Damian Wayne's like, I'm gonna go fight that Deathstroke guy. Rips out one of his eyes with a katana, the sword he carries around, just pokes it into his eye and pulls it out, and he's like, you hurt my eye. And he's like, yeah, that's what you get. I'm 9, bitch. So he's also a kid, he's just 9. Yeah. And so he's sent off to live with Batman, and so he eventually becomes Robin. He's very much a dickish Robin, though. He goes around being a dick to everyone he can, including Alfred, which that annoyed me, because he's calm down, it's Alfred.
He's a real dick to Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
And like, he's like reverse Dick Grayson in the way where, like, Dick Grayson was trained by Batman to always be the perfect person, and he has no blood relation to Batman, but he's very much his son in a way that obviously adopted him, but he basically had the same experiences with his parents dying right in front of his eyes, and he took down the murderer, and he became a hero for justice. Whereas this Robin is blood related to Batman, but in no other way really is he anything like Batman, because he's just willing to kill, because he was obviously trained by Talia al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul, and he's just a murderous little shit, and he's just angry all the time, and he's just a cunt. I hate him so much.
Yeah, I was getting to that. So it's basically his origin story. It's really good, but as Tom said, everyone hates him. For whatever reason, I like him a lot.
You're an evil.
He becomes a very likable character very quickly, because there are a few movies. Shut up. There's a few movies linked to it, like Teen Titans versus the Justice League. That's like their second movie, and that's it's okay. And then after that's the Judas Contract, which is good. But Son of Batman is really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that made into a movie.
Yeah.
Live action.
Yeah.
Now,
who would you? Do you have any ideas who you'd cast for Damian Wayne Robin?
I don't know any child actors.
Any good child actors, anyway.
Like there's Mowgli, but he's a child actor from. So that movie was made 2 or 3 years ago. So he's going to be like probably 11 or 12 now, and also he's just not. He wouldn't be Damian Wayne.
Yeah. But I don't have any ideas for that either. But I do think it could be a pretty good idea to introduce, that. Although, then you'd be pulling in like how very replaceable Robins are. Like it makes sense for Batman to have like a second Robin after Dick Grayson moves on. But then to have a third one. Even in the comics, it was very like, well, should he have a third Robin since he's he'd be very upset about the whole murder of Jason. But
I don't think there's because like there's big differences between all of the main Robins. Like there's the first one, Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing, so he becomes his own thing. Yeah. Then there's what's his name who dies.
Yeah, and then comes back and is an anti-hero kind of.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
So then he's kind of like the Punisher.
Yeah.
And then there's this one who's just like, I'm Robin. I'm 9 years old, and I can probably beat everyone up and kill everyone, and I will. And he beats Superman in a fight.
Well, he's got kryptonite,
Still beats him in a fight. He is a 9-year-old.
Although Superman, all of them are kind of mind controlled, and they're not as smart as they would be if they were in an actual fight. They're kind of just mindless, like killing. But yeah.
Okay, so now you can do your next one.
So Constantine is a character that not a lot of people know. So John Constantine, first of all, there's a TV show on it, but it's shit. And I would like a kind of a Constantine movie. So John Constantine is essentially a magic user in the DC universe who's all like, "Look at me, I am a magic man." And I think he's a British guy, and it's very Doctor Who in a way, and essentially
it should be R-rated Doctor Who though. He curses a lot.
Yeah,
in the comics.
You bloody bastard. Yeah,
he
does a lot of swearing. The best thing I could probably tell you to watch to get used to him, or at least familiar with him, is probably Justice League Dark, because he is basically the main character in that. But I think what you could do with that is you could really you'd have to introduce magic with Shazam and maybe Zatanna, but with Constantine you could do things like so him and Zatanna kind of have a thing going on. And then you have him just being a real like asshole side of them, because with Shazam you have like a nice like truth and justice and look at me, I'm a kid. And then you have with Zatanna you're like, oh, I'm a very masterful magic person and I just use it for good. And then you can have Constantine who's a very shady guy who's very
he uses a lot of dark magic.
Dark magic. And I don't know why that's a bad thing, but I guess it's evil.
And with Justice League Dark, I watched that like over the past week or two, and it's not really my thing. I just didn't enjoy it that much. But
Batman is great. I love Batman.
Yes, he was.
He just moans
but
a lot.
Overall, it's a good movie. It's very much based around magic.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of, but I just the movie wasn't bad. It was okay. It was very odd at the start.
Yeah, but
it was very creepy.
I don't think you should introduce things like his friend who can turn into another creature. I think just have him set in a magic world. Have him like
Astragan.
Yeah, I mean, like he would probably be a bit confusing for like mainstream audiences.
Could you?
But like you could have the character, not the guy. But like, I guess
it's not exactly. It's not Justice League Dark. It's just a story for Constantine. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, for Constantine, you could just do a simple story where he goes through and he just has to take down a simple character, or maybe even like a pretty powerful character, but like and it's all magic, so that like the DC characters can't really interact, or there's a reason for them not to interact and stuff like that, or they're busy with their own shit. But yeah, and I think a very good director for this would be David Yates. He's made Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and also the last two Harry Potters. And
I love Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, and he might have done. I don't think he did, but he might have done the sixth Harry Potter, and. He can pull off magic in a very that kind of way.
Yeah.
And I know this would be a little bit more dark and kind of R-rated, but I mean
less
then again,
wands.
Yeah, and less wands. But like what's his name? Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find It is quite a dark film when you think about it. It's not an adult film, but it's not a kids film by any means.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, like it's pretty dark.
It does have a kind of child death.
And it has like a brain-eating bird, who's like, hey, don't eat that guy's brains. They got a giant black
swooping
monster,
evil,
giant black cloud monster who rips your body out and stuff. So,
or the acid pill that melts wizards.
Yeah, so things like that, and that way he wouldn't have to be like he could actually show that kind of stuff, and it could be very dark that way. So I think he'd be very good for that, and it'd be very good just kind of one-off adventure, or maybe even recurring adventure. He could just be a real asshole, and you could even have Zatanna be in it and his other magic friends, and just show how much everyone hates him. So
Yeah.
Continue with yours. Go. Do.
Okay, so my next one is Flashpoint,
Mm.
which is a pretty well known story. It's not. I'm going for the Flashpoint from the comics and not the one from TV show, where basically Flash saves his mom, and then he goes back. He's put back into the future where Bruce Wayne is the one that was shot. Both parents survived, and there's some the dad becomes Batman and all that. Okay, so then they're going around. So then he's going around trying to figure out what's happened, why he's no longer the Flash, because he doesn't know what happened. He doesn't remember going back in time to save his mom.
Mm-hmm.
All he remembers is just waking up all of a sudden. He's like, so what's going on here? And so there's basically this big war going on between the Amazons or the Amazonians and the Atlanteans, yeah. And so they're at war, and it's a gruesome war. So many people die very quickly. And Bat Dad he likes killing people. He looks really cool, but he goes around with guns all the time. He's just shooting everyone, kind of like movie Batman.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. So then he's trying to figure out how to fix it. So he's like, okay, well, I have to set back up how to become Flash again. So he sets up how to become Flash, does it. Something goes horribly, and he's doing this with Bat Dad. Something goes horribly wrong, and he's lit on fire, and he's burnt the shit up because Bat Dad is like, you okay there? Yeah, no. Oh, you need help? Okay. So then after about half a minute of being on fire all over his body, he's like, I'll put you out now. And so he's horribly burned, but he's like, you know what, hey, let's do it again. Does it again, it works. And so he's going off to try and he's trying to go fast enough to rewind time. And it just kind of goes through that, and that's just a basic explanation of it. If you want to go more in depth, now you can.
So basically it's just Flash goes back in time and saves his mother from dying, which if you know the Flash, that's the whole concept. His mother dies and his father's blamed for the death and goes to jail. And we actually see that's going to happen in Justice League. If you look in the trailer, you see him and his dad are kind of like at opposite sides of the planet.
Yes, yeah, the dad's in prison.
Yeah, so he saves his man from dying, and then what happens is that the future is kind of the present technically is completely changed because of it. So different things happen with just kind of shockwaves, and so Superman's pod that would land to Earth.
I forgot all about Superman.
Yeah, so he doesn't land in the farm. He doesn't land in anywhere. He lands in the middle of like Metropolis or something, or New York or somewhere.
It was Metropolis.
Yeah, the government abduct him and basically keep him out of sunlight and just keep him in a room, and he doesn't know he has any abilities or whatever. And and essentially, so he's kidnapped, and what happens is that Aquaman and Wonder Woman are very angry all the time, and they kind of start a war because they hate each other due to either an affair or some other reason, and so they're kind of having a war, and that is very good, and they just kind of are very just it's gruesome, and they murder Shazams and stuff, you know.
Yes, because there's 6 Shazamses.
Yeah. And
she literally like, you know what? You're just a little child. I'm gonna stab you in the stomach, nice and hard there. And you just hear it, and
yeah. And when that shockwave also happened, in the alleyway where Bruce's parents were shot and he was left alive, Bruce is shot to death, and so his dad is like, I'm gonna kill criminals and stop them, and basically like the Punisher, but I'm gonna dress like a bat. And his mother goes insane, has blood all over her mouth, and is like, I'm gonna be the Joker. And then
I didn't want to spoil that whole Joker part.
Well, it's not really a spoiler. It happens in the first page, but anyway, it happens at the very beginning also. But yeah, and it's just all their lives have changed, and it's just kind of the Flash trying to recorrect what happened, and Reverse Flash is a dick, and that's basically how that's all about, you know, and stuff.
Also, it's got a very touching ending that has to do with Batman and all that,
and Bat-Dad, and that's brought up
and
in
Bat-Dad,
yeah, and that's brought up in the new issues of Batman and Bat-Dad and stuff. So yeah, will I go now?
Yes.
So I think I recommended the comic Hillbilly a while ago. It might have been last week, but essentially the basic premise is that this child is born. This woman births.
If you're talking, I can't hear you. There we go. You're back.
This woman births a child, and this child is born with no eyes. His head is his eye, like not like his head is closed, like he doesn't have even have any eye holes. And the town says that she's
You talked
a witch.
about this in the last episode.
Yeah, and basically I'm just going to give the basic premise again. And so they call the woman a witch and say that she's haunted by the demons, and so they kind of run her out of town, and everyone hates her and blah blah blah. And so this child grows up, kind of learning his way around by even though he's blind, and he finds a witch, and this witch is like, you know what, I'm going to give you your sight back. So what she does is she gets a magic knife, and she carves two eye holes in his head, and he opens his eyes, and the first thing he sees is that witch burning down his village and killing his mom and everyone. You know, well, his mom he loved, and basically everyone who used to ridicule him, but still he kind of cared for because he didn't want them to die. So then
She's a nice guy.
Yeah, because she's a nice person, you know.
No, because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, because he's a nice guy. But he does then go find the devil. He steals one of the devil's cleavers, and basically the devil, you know, whatever he touches becomes enhanced and can kill anything with one swipe. And basically he steals the devil's cleaver. I think he was making soup with it or something. But anyway, he steals it, and he vows to kill all witches. And the series is about him murdering an assortment of witches. So as a 10-year-old boy, he murders that witch, and then he murders all these other witches and blah blah blah. And his whole thing is just kind of, and he saves other people from witches, and it's just very 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 well done. And I think it could be like a good like R-rated kind of.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's a very gothic sounding movie.
And also Guillermo del Toro, so he did he did Hellboy and that kind of movie. So it would be very good if it was that kind of movie with some very inventive like action scenes and just a very while Hellboy is very colory, it could be like a dull, dreary, just you know.
I think Quentin Tarantino could do that well.
Yeah, he probably could. But I just see the great stuff that Guillermo del Toro did with Hellboy, and it does look like it could be done very well. But in a long form movie, I guess the best way to do it would probably be like, you know, you would take, you would probably give that introduction the way he does do it, which he gives that introduction by telling a story. That he tells that story of someone, and he's like, "Hey, Mister, who's that? Who's the guy you're talking about in the story?" And he's like, "Don't worry about that now, child." And then he takes off his blindfold, and you see he has black eye holes, and he's like,
what the fuck?
And then the child's like, "I won't tell anyone." And he's like, "Well, please don't." And he's like, "I won't, mister." Anyway, and then you could go into just later on and him just kind of killing witches and stuff, and that's pretty good. And it just seems like a very interesting and dark thing that you could do if you did it right. And also maybe Jason Momoa should also be cast for that guy. He has to grow a really good beard, like a way better beard.
Jason Momoa would be perfect for that.
Yeah. But that is just something I would love to. Do you have any more?
Yeah, I have one more, which is another DC animated movie called A Crisis on Two Worlds, Justice League Crisis on Two Worlds, or two words, something like that. And it's basically, it's got to do with multiple dimensions, stuff like that. But how it starts off is the opening scene is Lex trying to escape with the Joker to they're stealing this thing from the Justice League, and then they're trying to escape to get somewhere safe. And as it's going on, you're just thinking, the Joker looks really odd in this. Why does it look so odd? And so it turns out this is in the alternate Earth, where basically good guys and bad guys are swapped. So instead of the Justice League, it's now the Crime Syndicate, and that's all the bad Justice League, basically.
Evil Superman, evil Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the Lex's team is just called the Justice League, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, or whatever.
And so it starts off with the Joker, who that's called the Jester. He's just straight up killed.
Yeah, murder.
And so but Lex manages to escape, and what he was looking for was this item that would send him to like the canon Earth, where the good guys are good guys and all that. So he went there and he asked them for help, because every other hero has been killed by the crime syndicate. It's only him left. Yeah. And so then some of the superheroes go back. Batman stays because Earth still needs protecting. Yeah. And so they all go over to start helping. And all the bad guys have different names. So it's not like evil Superman. He has a different name. He has a U on his top instead.
Ultraman, I think it is. Yeah.
Could be, but I can't remember any of their names except for Batman's alter ego being L-Man.
And
who is
Wonder Woman's a Superwoman. The Flash one's I think is called a Zipper, which is so fun. I love it. Or something probably better. Like it's probably just called Quickie. I don't know. But
I
Superman is Ultraman. I'm not sure what the Green Lantern one is. I can't remember. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, but continuing on. So there he is. They've all gone over, and they're gonna help them take him down. And there's the bad guys, and the main kind of bad guy that they focus on is L-Man, or the Batman, who's voiced by James Woods, and he's really, really good in it. And basically, what happens is he learns that there are the alternate dimensions, and so then decides, like, he becomes depressed basically over that, and he decides everything he does means nothing to anything, so he's going to do the one thing that can mean everything. And so he's made this bomb that can blow up Earth, but he's like, it's not good enough to blow up my Earth. I have to go find the kind of hub world type Earth. It was the first Earth Prime.
Earth Prime, yeah.
And he's like, if I go there and I blow up that Earth, every other Earth will explode, and I will have killed everyone, and therefore it's the only thing that matters. And his girlfriend, Superwoman, or Wonder Woman, is like, hey, I like that idea. Yeah, let's go do that. I don't mind
kill
if
everyone.
I die as well.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not thinking this through. And so so they goes their plan and all that. And none of the other crime syndicate want everything gone, because they're like, because they don't know his plan. Because if they did, they'd be like, well, don't do that, because if you destroy everyone, we won't have anything. We won't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so, in the end, then,
well, don't spoil
L-Man
it.
is six. I'm not spoiling it. I'm not going to spoil the ending. It's just L-Man gets to where he wants to be. He finds Earth Prime and gets there with the bomb, and then some stuff unravels and stuff like that. And there's just it's just so good. The Flash is one of the best characters ever.
Yeah. If you want to see if you want to see like the DC people fight their counterparts that would murder them, it's pretty good, because like Superman is like, the Superman and Ultraman are basically the same. It's just that, you know, Ultraman's willing to kill, but like they can't really kill each other, and most of them are just kind of very evenly matched, especially and like, except for like, you know, the Flash is smarter than the other version of the Flash, so he kind of outsmarts him. The Green Lantern, I guess, is a little bit more willpower. Batman is very outmatched when it comes to that Owlman guy, and it's just kind of, you know, and the fight on Earth Prime is great. I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to watch that, that's Justice League: A Crisis on Two Worlds, or Both Worlds, or something like that. It's good. You should watch it. It's an older movie, which is, it's odd to watch because some of the voice actors sound odd, and Martian Manhunter's in it, and his reverse or whatever, and he's American instead of like the kind of African sounding voice he has in the current shows. But yeah, that's my last one. So now it's up to you, Thomas.
Well, you know, we've been going for quite a while, so I think it is okay if we are to end it. The only other thing I had, just as an extra, is Chew, the graphic novel, and I was thinking that could be a good TV show, kind of iZombie-esque, where, you know, you'd have a guy who just kind of solves crimes by you know, eating dead people, or eating the shit of someone who's dead, or whatever, you know, in whatever way, and kind of solving crimes.
Yeah, some gross shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, but it could be very interesting, you know, thing. Although we already have iZombie, so, you know, yeah, I just had that as my extra in case we didn't have enough, but we did. So,
well, okay, well then that's the end of the podcast.
That's the end of the topic. However, we do have letters. Play the theme song. I might have, maybe. Yeah, go. Letters, yeah.
Woo, it's so good.
I know. Okay, so
listen to all that strumming.
Okay, so so this is Green Chowder again, the only person who comes on the podcast. She humors us and pretends like
with
we matter.
The superheroes. Yeah.
So she says, I reckon Karen McMoss is 27, because last week you were like, guess your age. Now, I believe that was a joke, but then you replied with, close. And then she believed that you were genuinely like, and then she might have believed that you were genuinely like around that age. Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to tell you my age, so don't, Thomas. But it is younger than 20.
Tell them what it's above and below.
Okay, it's below 25, above 16. I think that's a good enough thing.
And keep in mind, I'm 17, so work that out yourself.
Yeah. Okay. She also asked about favorite superhero. So do you want to go first?
who's your favorite and least favorite superhero and villain? So so my favorite superhero, if we're just going with the standard DC and Marvel answers, then I guess I wish we should up. I think because this, superhero, I'd say the Flash because he's just a great guy. I love his power set. I do very much enjoy the Green Lantern, so it's kind of a toss up between those two. And I very much enjoy just Green Lantern's whole thing, where he's like, "Look at me, I've got so much willpower, and look at me, I can create anything I want." And I'm just kind of, trying to balance being me, and then but with the Flash, he's a very intelligent person, and it's not just about being fast, and it's all cool stuff. And he's very very much a good
outsmarting
person
and stuff
always.
like that.
And outsmarting the villains, not just beating them up.
Yeah.
And with least favorite superheroes, I'd probably say maybe if we're counting Damian Wayne, I fucking hate him. He can go die in a ditch.
Wow.
If not, then Dr. Fate. He's just a real asshole. His whole thing is just like, everybody wear this helmet and you have no control over your body, and I'm such a cunt. Yes.
Look how nice of a person I am. Woo.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah, basically. And with favorite villain, Cookie. I just have to say Joker because he's pretty good. He's he's pretty good. But if I were to say any other person, I would probably say Green Goblin because he's basically the Joker of
Marvel.
Of Marvel, and he's just he's what a cunt. Although and the fact that he knows Spider-Man's identity, he just fucks with them in ways that no other villain can. Because he's just like, he has dinner with Peter, and he's just like, so what'd you get up to? Are you Spider-Man? Like just like really fucking with him. And Aunt May's like, how could he be Spider-Man? He was doing homework. But yeah, if any other favorite villains, I guess Professor Zoom, who's Reverse Flash. He's basically Flash's. He's basically the Joker with super speed. And I really like him a lot.
Calm down with all that also, because I also need a villain to use.
And also my least favorite villain would probably be I really dislike I really dislike Stiltman from is it Marvel? Yeah, it's Marvel. Stiltman from Marvel, because his whole thing. I know he's his hero. I don't know. Captain Boomerang. What a useless piece of shit. There you go. Fucking boomerangs.
Okay, now my turn.
The person he fights is the Flash. How can the Flash the Flash can dodge a boomerang? He's fucking useless. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so now my list is gonna be shorter.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite superheroes from DC are either Kid Flash or Aqualad, because I like both of them from Young Justice. My favorite superhero from Marvel is the Hulk, because I've always liked the Hulk. And my least favorite superhero, I guess, probably be I'm trying to think from DC who would be my least favorite superhero. Probably be Arsenal, who's also he's also appears in Young Justice, just because he is such an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's willing to kill his team to not die.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil why, because that's in season 2. And then my favorite supervillain is probably Vandal Savage.
Yeah, he's
because he's very smart and he knows what he's doing, and I think that's cool. Yeah, yeah, he's been around for 50,000 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Least favorite supervillain?
Least favorite supervillain. If we're going movies wise, it's gonna be Bane, because he wasn't very good in that movie.
He was quite bad.
Yeah, but overall,
well, if we're doing that, then why not Venom from Spider-Man 3?
Oh yeah. But if we're doing comics or cartoon TV shows, I'm not sure. And I had one in my head, but then I forgot about it because I'm like a goldfish.
Let's just say Dane DeHaan, Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2. Sure. Also, one of
Mr. Freeze. That was it.
Wow, why do you dislike Mr. Freeze? He's great.
I've yet to see him as that much of an interesting character. He's not in any of the movies I've seen. He's barely in any of the TV shows.
Oh, Mr. Freeze. He won his episode on Batman animated series won an Emmy.
Yes, but I haven't seen that, so I don't know enough. I just don't know enough
Captain
about
Cold. Him. He's another Flash villain who's like, look at me, I've got a freeze gun.
Yes, okay, yeah, Captain Cold. He's also in Young Justice.
He's useless.
And he is the useless ice person. There we go. I'll pick him then. There you go.
Yeah, okay. I'm
The
okay
end.
with that. She also asked, and how are you going to grow the podcast since it has suboptimal views? I think
We won't.
I think it's pretty good because, like, you know, 11 subscribers, and
Yeah.
we're getting like at least double the amount of subscribers in, you know, double the
Views.
We're getting like 20 views, or I think we have a video with 50 views. The last one was like 30 something, and I know you can make the argument like, well, you did get promotion from a channel, which is my channel, with like 1,000 subscribers, but you know, that channel, anything I make that isn't a commentary video, people don't give a shit about. So really, if you're just counting the numbers on the channel, it's fine. And I don't really mind it not having a lot of views,
Yeah.
because people are pressing the like button, and we are enjoying making it. And I'm gonna and then yeah.
And also, with the whole suboptimal view thing, like, this is only our 4th episode, and we've got some views.
Yeah.
Like, podcasts, just the longer they go, the more views they'll get, because the wider search bar thing will come up. So it's like, someone searches up something about superheroes, we're more likely to come up in a few weeks when we have more superhero things up than we would in our first 2 episodes. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time, and then we'll be super famous, and then not make any money off this.
And or open up a Patreon, which we could
We
do, but
We could.
yeah. But regardless, thank you all for watching.
Woo.
Wait, recommendations. Sorry,
Oh,
forgot.
yeah.
Whoops a daisy.
Woo. Recommendations?
I will go with Legion. Basically, if you want to know, it's just about a little guy. His name is David, and he's in a mental institution because he thinks he's crazy because he hears voices. And he once like, you know, got really angry, and everything in the room kind of flew at the walls and hit him in the head and everything. And he thought it was a dream, and he's all crazy. But it turns
Yeah.
out he's a mutant from the X-Men universe, and he's like, look at me, I'm basically God, but I don't know how to control my powers, but maybe I do, but maybe I'm evil, who knows. It's a very good series. It fucks with your mind in so many ways, and it's quite short. It's only 8 episodes, although the episodes are like 40 minutes in length, although it's worth it. You need to watch that show. And
Okay.
if we're going with comics, I will throw out, God fucking damn it, I'm really trying to think. He is a Good Boy, or HIAGB, and basically it's a webcomic about an acorn who he lives in a tree,
You
and then
sold me.
he lives in a tree, and the tree is like, yo, you need to move out, man. You get on with your life. All your brothers and sisters moved out, and look at them. They're planting themselves in the ground. They're growing as strong trees. I'm old. I'm going to die soon. Where are you going to live when I'm dead? And he's like, it'll be fine. You just need water or something. And then he goes out and he gets a bottle of water, pours on him. And as he's doing that, a chainsaw goes through the tree's chest, and
Oh,
blood
no.
comes out, and blood sprays all
God.
over the acorn. And the devil and God are fighting over the fact that, you know, the acorn sold his soul for like $1 million, but he gave the $1 million to charity, so that they don't know where to put him. And while they're doing that, they get covered in blood, and they're like, let's just leave. So the whole thing is him like trying to find a new home, and it's very dark
Yeah.
and gruesome, and just very and like there are a lot of imagination scenes where like he'll put his fingers to his head and like pretend to shoot himself, but what'll happen is you'll see his brain blow out of his head, and then it'll cut back and nothing will have happened.
Oh,
And it's just very good art, and it's very gruesome and dark, and a lot of and like he may have been kidnapped and raped, who knows? But it's if you want it, I'll leave it in the description.
I'm going to say my thing now. I've only got one thing to recommend this week, and that'll be Riverdale. It's based off the Archie comics. There's it's a continuing series. They're only on season 1. There's 12 episodes, or 11. I think there's going to be 12 when this is released. And it's on Netflix. You can find it there, or just search it up online. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. And they're 40-minute episodes. They're based off the Archie comics. And you know, it's a good TV show. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm not going to spoil anything. The end. We are finished here.
Okay, that is the end of the podcast. Hope y'all enjoyed watching, and yeah.
Woo.
Bye.
tides, finding your own rights, and the old red flag